All right, guys. Today we're gonna be reacting to Andrew Wilson's school Twitch streamer on biology. Let's jump in.
Yes.
And are you speaking just for you? Like, do you think that's kind of...
No, I think a lot of people put so much pressure, especially women, but also men. There's a lot of pressure on men to like get married or just people in general to form like monogamous bonds, especially when you reach certain markers in your life. And I just don't think everyone's meant to be monogamous with one person for the rest of their life. I know guys who obviously we know people, guys and girls who are married, they cheat all the time. If that's the case, you're not meant to be monogamous, so.
Okay.
I agree on this, actually. I believe there was historical significance, meaning as to why monogamy was kind of glorified in our society. It was easier to survive, to provide when you stick to one unit. But these days, our life became
that's not why.
Is that okay if I finish the point?
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, wait. I'll let you finish the point.
Donated $200. What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Who is that
Everyone is now dumber for having listened to it.
It's a movie reference. That's a movie reference.
Is that what?
Yo, back in the day, some of these super chats were ooh. That's crazy, huh?
What is that? It's
I
think that's
it's on the tip of my tongue.
Nope,
no, it's Adam Sandler. I can't remember the name.
I want to say it's Billy Madison.
I think it's Billy Madison. Go on, continue with your point.
Okay, I feel like these days we became so comfortable, independent, just our life became so convenient that surviving on our own and making choices based on what we actually want to do in the moment is a norm. And this is sort of a outdated, I suppose, part of the system where people feel the pressure to get married or have kids by a certain age, that we don't need to do that anymore. And a lot of people, like you said, they sort of get stuck in pressure to be in relationships. They don't feel happy. And so many families that are married, I've been noticing just from what I was observing, are together for reasons that are actually not authentic, whether they're feeling lonely or they want safety or sex. And if you look deeper into it, it looks good on the outside, but inside they're miserable and the relationship is quite toxic, as opposed to people that are single or fucking around, even though some society can judge them for that. They're actually happy and free because they do what makes them feel good.
Andrew, I think I know you had some...
This is literally how feminism think. What make them feel good, happy, make them feel good, whatever makes you feel good, all these kind of very self-centered words.
Something I do want to just really quickly, before I have you come in, go around the table on this. So it sounded like you, and I don't want to misquote you, you don't think monogamy... what are your thoughts on monogamy? It's not for everyone?
I just think everyone has their own personal thing. I think we have this thing that women are naturally monogamous, men are naturally not as monogamous, women just get super attached. I don't think it's as, I think we've made it super general. I don't think everyone's monogamous. I don't think everyone's poly. I don't think everyone's people just like what they like. Some people.
Sure, but yes, exactly. So are you saying women aren't naturally monogamous? That's what you wrote here in your pre-show notes. I did write that.
So I think maybe to clarify, I just don't think that...
Don't walk it back.
I'm not walking back, but you're asking me to you're asking me I'm telling you what I meant.
Yeah.
Because I was in a DM, so I couldn't
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. You're fine.
I don't think that every single woman, just because you have a vagina, are you monogamous and do you get emotionally attached to everyone you have sex with? I just think that's a little bit of a generalization that has been made about girls, is that they every time you have sex with a guy.
Well, are they monogamous or not? That's the question that Amy asked, but she's not answering. She's just beating out around the bushes. You guys notice? The question is whether or not females are monogamous. I have some personal opinions of this. There's a big sectors that you can make the argument that maybe females are not as monogamous as we thought, since they already get traction by pre-selection. And usually monogamous works, polygamous works better when females are the one sharing the same guy, not this all the way around.
You're in love with them, you fall in love, but guys can just have sex with
fine.
anyone, and they don't get super attached. Like, I know guys that get attached super quick. I know girls that get attached super quick. I know girls that have sex with a bunch of people and don't care about any of them, and vice versa. So that's what I'm saying. Like I said from the beginning, which you could quote, is that monogamy, poly, it depends what you're into.
Sure. So perhaps just a yes or no on this. You said women aren't naturally monogamous. That's your position?
No, I just said my position. Again, that was like a very concise DM, so I know there were other sentences before and after,
Sure.
but what I'm saying is just because you can't answer it yes or no, is that just because you have a vagina doesn't mean that you're more super inclined to being monogamous. That's all I meant by that.
Would you never be monogamous?
No, I've been monogamous before.
Oh.
I'm not I didn't.
I think
it depends.
just because I know
depends
you
what you're
so
into.
well, I think what you might be trying to say, and tell me if I'm wrong, is historically humans weren't monogamous, and then monogamy became like a thing like over time ingrained in the culture. And so just like in general, not every woman is going to have the urge to be monogamous, or some women don't want to be monogamous but feel the pressure from where they grew up, what religion they're in, that sort of thing. So I think you could say that for men and women,
Exactly.
it's like monogamy
It's
isn't
both.
for everybody.
That's all. It's just,
Okay. Going around the table, or wait, I don't know if I went.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
I think what we lack is the freedom of choice. Too much of what people do is based on what others want us to do. That's it.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
so,
you
like-
just went. I don't know, man. Like, especially her, she's full of it. She's one of these people that has gone through life with no hesitations, no pushbacks. So they come up with these kind of innuendos and phrases that they see in Facebook and Instagram. I think TikTok as well, and they make their mindset and perspective of life based on those catchphrases.
Do. That's it.
I don't even know what that means.
So, like an example with marriage, there is so much pressure, especially for women, to get married and have children by a certain age.
Yeah, that's because if they don't do that, they can't have children.
I mean,
That's
my mom
debatable.
does.
No,
She
it's
had me
not
when she was
debatable.
42.
No, it's not. No, listen. The amount of damage that you do that drastically can happen to you and the child just over the age of 24 drastically increases every single year. Every single year that you hold out. By the time you're 40, if you're trying to have kids, how many kids do you think you're going to have versus a 25-year-old?
men's sperm count drops too as they get older.
Yeah.
Just so you know,
see.
it's for both of us.
See, the sisterhood coming in. You see what I'm saying? You have to throw that. We have to throw that. But let's see.
Speaking, yes, but a lot of it
there's
depends on
definitely
your
a difference
lifestyle
there.
because we all age differently.
I mean,
Oh, no. Well, wait a second. Yes, I mean, that's true, I guess, that we all have different effects when it comes to age. I would agree to that. But we don't all age differently, right? So we all age at exactly the same rate as everybody else.
I disagree.
Really? So if I'm 1 year old and you're 1 year old, how old are both of us?
Depends how you perceive time.
Wow.
Don't you think?
Well, I think perhaps she's saying, like, if you take good care of your health,
Yeah.
there's some long.
This is interesting. Here you see Brian coming in and just simping. This is a simp behavior. See, instead of allowing her to clarify, he's jumping in. This is very interesting.
Yes, the effects.
Yeah.
So sure, you can have the effects, but we age at the same rate.
But don't you
Okay?
think there's other things that can age you faster, like
Drugs.
trauma, drugs, losses?
Well,
Wait, hold on. Just
Those are effects.
538 donated $199. When was monogamy or mating for life something we mammals did not do? Lots of birds,
Right.
reptiles, and amphibians do it. Show me a successful polygamous society with matriarch or king with harems.
good point.
Good
Very
point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Bone Man 538.
Yeah, I definitely
Good
was
name.
saying like we
Good name.
don't like have an instinct to want to procreate and like be with other people, but like you don't see like a lot of species just like clinging on to one other species. But yeah, some do. Some like, you know, like they say lobsters, they mate for life. When they meet their mate, they're like, whatever. And then there's other like species that like they just be fucking everybody.
Gorillas have like this one king and then they have multiple.
When you take human behavior, right?
Yes.
We're not gonna compare ourselves to lions, right?
But we still have primal instincts.
We're animals.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
But we also have higher faculties, so we can know how to do things which are good for us, even regardless of what our own carnal natures are. So, for instance, it might feel good to do thing which ends up hurting you in the long run, so you don't do that thing even though it feels good. Like, for instance, eating tons of chocolate in a single sitting. Might feel good, probably not very good for you, so lots of people would avoid doing it, right? Otherwise, we end up with like pure hedonism. So the reason monogamy is so good for the world is because it used to be that only a small subsect of men were able to procreate ever, because women are the gatekeepers of sex. So what happened is all the high status men would get the mass majority of women. That's what would happen. What happened when monogamy is really introduced, especially through Christian ethics, what ended up happening is now everybody has a mate. You see societal violence go way down. You see people are able to genetically replicate themselves. And so the biggest value to a species moving forward is replication, right? You have to be able to replicate yourself.
I'm going to agree with that. I just don't think that just because we do it doesn't mean everyone wants to do it.
Yeah, well...
Not saying it isn't good for society. I think
But that's just kind of like trivially...
valid.
Yeah, but that's just kind of trivially true, right? So you say that about everything. Like, not everybody wants to do everything. That's true, but we're kind of talking in a general
as a
broad
mass
view.
society,
donated $200.
Just one sec, guys.
I'm
Yo,
sorry,
thank you, man.
Brixton.
Appreciate it.
My male hormones naturally overcame me, and I made a disgusting comment toward Mira as she is wearing the least clothing, nip-spoking, enjoys turning down losers like me. What is this?
Yeah, there we go. Gigi got caught because she was looking at herself, trying to, post for the abs. Like, yeah.
Comment about your abs.
What does he want me to cover? My face?
No, don't worry about it.
What else
Don't-
do I need to cover?
Your abs. You're showing off your abs. That's why.
Nick, do we have any paper bags back there?
I didn't
No,
get
you're
the
fine.
memo.
You're fine.
Just like cut out the eyeballs.
Go ahead. Did you want to continue on with the?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that monogamy, if you want to know why I'm so anti-degeneracy, why I'm so anti-promiscuity, things like that. If you look at all the Western nations where all the promiscuity is allowed everywhere at all times, like she says, I feel like we don't have a choice to do what? There's nobody stopping you literally from doing anything. Any form of degeneracy you could ever think of right now, you can basically do.
True.
You have a right to do it at all times, whenever you feel like it, everywhere inside of the United States. I can't think of a single one, a single thing that you would be like, I just have to go and do this horrible, degenerate thing. What is it that you couldn't go do right now?
Dang, that was good. That was good. But they cut out the clip very early. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I will see you in the next one.